Alright guys, the Azure update is finally almost here, and honestly, this is shaping up to be one of the biggest updates Forsaken has had in a very long time. Not only are we getting Azure, but we're also expecting brand new skins, map changes, quality of life improvements, balance changes, and a whole lot more. So before the update actually drops, there are a few things I seriously think every single player should do first. Some of these could save you a lot of money. Others could save you hours of grinding later on. And there's even a few things that might give you a head start if some of the predictions surrounding Azure end up being true. Here is everything I think you should do before the Azure update finally releases. The very first thing I would recommend is actually one of the simplest things you can do, and that's to stop spending your cash. As tempting as it might be to buy that skin you've been looking at for the past few weeks, I genuinely think it's worth holding on to every bit of currency you have right now because this update is bringing an insane amount of cosmetics. And there's a good chance you'll regret spending everything before seeing what's available. Obviously, Azure himself is expected to arrive alongside the update, but that's only scratching the surface. We've already seen concepts for skins like Bride Azure, and there are still loads of other cosmetics that could end up releasing over the next few updates. On top of that, other characters are also getting attention, with skins like Overheat V, Radical V, and plenty of other concepts already making the rounds within the community. Even if every single one of those doesn't release tomorrow, it's clear Forsaken has been building up plenty of cosmetics behind the scenes, so saving your cash now is probably one of the smartest decisions you can make. There's also another reason I'd recommend saving your money, and that's because we still don't know exactly what Forsaken has planned once Azure actually releases. Sometimes developers like to surprise players with cosmetics that nobody expected, whether that's secret skins, limited bundles, or something completely different. We simply don't know yet, so having your cash ready gives you the flexibility to buy whatever catches your eye instead of having to start grinding all over again. Speaking of grinding, the next thing I definitely recommend doing before tomorrow is working towards your Cooked milestones. Now this isn't because anything has been officially confirmed, but because there's been more and more discussion surrounding the return of the Wave update, and if that really is coming back soon, there's a chance the milestone rewards could receive some pretty big changes. We've already seen redesigned concepts for skins like Purple Guy, and with Forsaken continuing to improve older content, it wouldn't be surprising if more milestone rewards eventually received updated versions as well. There's also been speculation that legacy milestones or different skin variants could become a bigger part of the progression system in the future. Again, none of that has been confirmed, but if those ideas become reality, you'll be glad you prepared ahead of time. If you've already been thinking about grinding your milestones, today is the perfect time to make some progress. Even if nothing changes tomorrow, you're still moving closer towards unlocking more milestone rewards anyway, so it's not like that progress is ever wasted. And if Forsaken does end up introducing legacy milestones, updated milestone rewards, or additional skin variants alongside the return of the Wave update, then you'll already be in a much better position than players who decided to ignore it. One thing Forsaken has been doing a lot recently is revisiting older systems and giving them a fresh coat of paint rather than leaving them behind forever. We've already seen that happen with characters, skins, animations, and maps, so it really wouldn't be shocking if milestones eventually received that same treatment too. Besides, if you're already waiting around for tomorrow's update anyway, you might as well spend that time making progress instead of logging off completely. Worst case scenario, you've earned a few more milestones. Best case scenario, you're already prepared if Forsaken decides to surprise everyone. Another thing I'd seriously recommend doing before the Azure update drops is getting comfortable with playing to time. Now, this hasn't been confirmed, but if Azure follows a similar release to Jane Doe, there's a good chance he'll require some kind of quest before players can unlock him. Since Azure and To Time have already been heavily connected throughout the teasers, I wouldn't be surprised if To Time ends up playing a role in that quest. Whether that's playing matches, completing objectives, or even something like successfully backstabbing the killer multiple times, getting used to the character now could save you a lot of time once the update goes live. For now though, I definitely spend a few matches learning to time. If Azure really does launch with some kind of unlock quest, you'll already be familiar with the character instead of learning everything from scratch alongside everyone else. There's also still the mysterious 799 Robux Game Pass that Lee Lopez has teased. We still don't know exactly what it includes, but I'd recommend waiting before buying it immediately. It could simply be a cosmetic bundle, or it might offer additional rewards connected to the Azure update. We just don't know yet. Instead of spending your Robux the second it appears, wait to see exactly what it contains and whether it's actually worth the price. Either way, we'll finally get our answers once the update goes live. For now though, the biggest thing you can do is start playing to time. If Azure really does launch with some kind of unlock quest, you'll already be familiar with the character instead of learning everything from scratch alongside everyone else. The last thing I'd recommend doing before the Azure update finally arrives is making sure you're actually ready for launch day itself. If you've been following previous major Forsaken updates, you'll know that servers can get incredibly busy the moment new content releases. Thousands of players will all be trying to jump in at the same time, whether that's to unlock Azure, check out the new skins, or simply experience everything for themselves. Because of that, I'd try to join as early as you can. Not only does that give you the best chance of avoiding long queues or server issues if they happen, but it also means you'll get to experience the update before everyone starts figuring everything out. Half the fun of a major release is discovering the new content alongside everyone else instead of having every surprise spoiled 5 minutes later. It's also worth taking one final look at some of the balance and quality of life changes that are expected to arrive. One feature I'm particularly looking forward to is the new visual heartbeat setting, which should make it much easier for players who struggle relying purely on audio cues. Small accessibility improvements like that might not sound huge on paper, but they can completely change how comfortable the game feels to play. We're also expecting survivor emotes to finally arrive, giving players another way to interact during matches outside of the usual gameplay. Features like this don't completely change Forsaken overnight, but they help make matches feel much more alive and give players even more ways to have fun with friends. There are also a few smaller changes that have been teased, like improvements to Elliot's pizza timer and other quality of life adjustments. Individually, they might seem minor, but together they should help make the overall experience feel much smoother than before. Overall, this update has the potential to be one of Forsaken's biggest yet. Whether you're most excited for Azure, the new skins, the map changes, or all of the quality of life improvements, there's going to be plenty to explore the moment the servers go live. Subscribe and hit the bell for more Forsakening It.